Football here, Tiki. Alvin Kamara burst on the scene for the Saints, amassing over 1,300 all-purpose yards in each of his first 3 seasons. However, the former Vols star has yet to go over 1,000 yards, hasn't surpassed that yet, or 200 carries in a season. And he fell short of expectations last year despite the fact that the former bell cow, Mark Ingram, bolted for the Ravens. Now, yesterday, Kamara explained his down season. Tiki inbounds, out of bounds. Alvin Kamara can be a bell cow every down back in the NFL.
I'm going to say, yeah, BT, he can be. The problem is inbound. So this is inbound for me. He's 5'10", 5'11", 215 pounds. He's a little bit taller than I was, but I was a bell cow in the National Football League, so I know that he can do it. The problem is he won't do it with the New Orleans Saints, because that's not Sean Payton's way of doing it. Yes, Mark Ingram was there, but then Latavius Murray came and took on some of those carries. It's just Sean doesn't want one, not that he doesn't want one guy, but he's so conscious about having specific players doing specific things that he's not going to get those opportunities, to get 300 so carries. Not that he even wants them. Interestingly, he's had 81 receptions every season. His first 3 years, even though he missed 3 or 4 games last year, he's got 81 receptions. It's like 81, 81, 81.
That's uncanny.
It is uncanny. But yeah, he can be. I don't think he will be with the Saints.
I agree. I'm going to say inbounds here. Again, a bell cow in 2020 is a lot different than, even when you were playing, but certainly in the 80s and in the early 90s, it's just different. So, can he be an every down back? Of course he can. You catch the football. How is he a blocker? He's effective.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's willing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's strong. He's got a burst up into the defender. He's definitely a more willing blocker.
Okay, so specific to the Saints and how they play, I hear you. But specific to a 2020 version of a feature back, I believe that he can be, and I believe that he will be in bounds. Lakers back on the winning track. Big win. This has to change, and there's some dissenting voices out there, and I've been one of them. It's got to at least give you a little something to pause here. I love the Nuggets here, and Kyle Kuzma drilled a big one over Big Bol, not Big Bol. Well, he is big.
Yeah.
Bol. 7'2", Big Bol. And it was a great play, too. It was like a little give and go. LeBron to Davis into the corner, like a little shovel pass, boom. It was well designed. Okay, so Kuzma's seen minutes, points per game, field goal percentage, and his PER all dropped this year despite putting up 19 a game last season. So here it is. In or out, Kuzma can still be a legit number 3 to LeBron and AD. That was a sweet play. That was very well done.
But he's not a great three-point shooter. He shoots 32% BT. He takes 5 a game. I'm going to say out of bounds. I think he can be a piece of a puzzle that they win. It helps them win.
Yep.
But legit number 3. That means eventually you're going to be number 2. I don't see that yet. He's 30. He's 24 years old. I think we know what he is. He's a good player. I don't think he's ever going to be elite, so I'm going to say out of bounds.
I'll say out of bounds as well. I didn't give it nearly the amount of time that you did. Out of bounds here. That doesn't mean he can't be an effective player, but the way it's written, can he still be a legit number 3 to LeBron? That means it better happen now, because LeBron's 36 years old, and LeBron's not going to be a LeBron for many more years here, and that ascension needs to happen immediately, and he's not ready for that. So the answer is no. Now, sporadically, can he have some big nights? No question. Can he make some big shots? Sure.
Yep.
I like the fact that he's got the gumption to take him and the confidence after it. Who's defending me? Jesus, it's all good. Let it go. It's all good.
That's going the other way. Probably out the door and 5 miles down the road. But Jesus.
I know. But I prefer that attitude. I might be a little bit of pseudo confidence, to be honest with you. But I'm going to say out of bounds. He's just not that type of player, and I don't think he ever will be. All right, baseball. Marlins, Cardinals looking to make up games due to their COVID outbreaks. Now, the Indians, we talked about this before, hoping to avoid a big stoppage after pitcher Zach Plesac, Dan's nephew, by the way, from MLB Network, and Mike Clevenger reportedly went out in Chicago. They went out together. They broke the team safety protocols. Now the Indians have sent both players home from the road trip. Both will have to quarantine for 72 hours and be tested daily before they can return. So here's the question. Players who break protocol should receive a multi-game suspension even if they test negative for the virus. In or out?
I'm going to say inbounds at this, BT, because it's the principle of the whole thing. Like, there's a rule in place. This is conduct detrimental. I forget what coach said this. It was a football coach, Mike Tomlin, when talking about his players breaking protocol and going to do things during training camp because they're going to be there for a month without playing games. He's going to consider it conduct detrimental, which means a fine and a suspension. So Major League Baseball should do the same thing just to set an example. Because, Plesac and Clevenger may come back without having contracted the coronavirus or spreading it to their team, but that doesn't mean that they didn't risk doing that. So, I'm going to say inbounds.
I totally agree. The answer is inbounds here. It's meant to dissuade players. The threat of the multi-game suspension, you would hope, would serve as a real obvious threat and deterrent to others who are thinking about being so stupid. Or so reckless, probably a better way to put it. So inbounds, the result of the test is almost inconsequential. I mean, it is, but it's not. Specific to the suspension, it's not of consequence. Specific to the health of the team, it's very much in consequence. But, this is easy. Bang them out for a ton of games, and other players will see this, and hopefully they'll stop doing it. The Gators, 3 national titles in school history, but they haven't finished at the top since 2008, and they've yet to make the college football playoff. However, after 3 straight years of top 10 recruiting classes and back-to-back double-digit win seasons, head coach Danny Mullen, remember they just landed 5-star corner recruit Jason Marshall to this year's already stellar class. They're trending in the right direction for sure. In or out, the Gators are still a top 10 college football program. Curious how you answer this one.
I'm actually going to say inbounds, BT. I think they made the right decision because McElwain was there for, 3 years, I think he was. And then Dan Mullen came in, and almost immediately they turned the corner. So they went from, sub 500 to just barely above 500 to a 10-3, then 11-2 last season. They're like a player or two, particularly a big-time quarterback, away from being like really, really good. The players are still there. They just haven't had great quarterback play. So I'm going to say inbounds to this, BT. I view their struggle to get over the hump, so to speak, similar to Michigan. In a way. So I'm going to say inbounds. I do think they're still there.
I'm going to say out of bounds. Yes, they're definitely going in the right direction. And if they do it again this year, who knows what this year is going to bring. But I'm sorry, in the 2010s, they've had multiple 4-loss seasons, an 8-loss season, a 5-loss season, a 6-loss season. Come on. I mean, there's just too many quality teams out there that have been winning for a long time. I'm just going to throw names at you. Clemson, the Buckeyes, Bama, Georgia, LSU, that's 5. The Sooners, 6. Penn State's been on an upswing. That's 7. Notre Dame, now it's getting close. I'm not saying that they're like 30, but they're more like in that 12-13 realm to me. I want to see where A&M goes this year. I want to see where Wisconsin goes this year, and Oregon. It's close, but I say barely out of the top. They've had too many very heavy, a lot of lost seasons, if you will. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.